Hey guys, it's Sinem and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here and you're watching me for the first time. So, as you can tell by the title, today we're going to be doing a dupes video. We're going to be doing one side drugstore, one side high-end. You're going to save a lot of money because these dupes are amazing. As you can see, I created this whole look and you can't even tell that one side is different and one side is different. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So it's just incredible to me because it looks like the same products all over, even though it's literally different products on both sides. So yes, these are amazing dupes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, so let's just jump straight into it. I'm going to start off with primer, and I think this side is going to be the high end and this side will be drugstore. So for the high end side, for primer, I am going to be going into the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I have a really good dupe for this one. So this one I actually do have the mini size of, and I'll put the price up on the screen as well for every single product, but this one is the mini size. However, there is a full size as well, which is a different price. Either way, I've got a great dupe for it. So it does come out like this really clear green, almost gel type primer. And I'm sure you guys know about this. It's basically a very sticky, very tacky primer, which is supposed to give you almost like this really nice dew, but also the main purpose of it is to prolong your foundation. It's supposed to really, really grip and adhere to your base makeup, make it last long, and it feels almost kind of plump as well. So a complete dupe, I feel like, for this primer is going to be a new one that just came out, and that is the E.L.F. Mint Melt Cooling Primer. I feel like they are pretty similar because this one feels quite cooling and plump right now as well, almost kind of tingly, and this is pretty much the exact same. So even if I pump it out and show you guys, it is the same green gel consistency. It's very, you know, again, dewy and sticky. It's got that cooling effect. I almost feel like this one is a lot more, look at that, kind of shiny. This one is also very sticky. Like these are both incredibly sticky, but it's great for, you know, gripping to your foundation. So yes, this is a great dupe, very affordable, and definitely provides you with more glow as well. So now that we have the primer on, I'm going to go into foundation. Now, these foundations that I'm about to show, it's not the same shade, so it's a little off, but the formula and the claims and everything is pretty much identical, and I would say is a dupe. So for the high-end side, I'm going to be going into the Too Faced Born This Way 24-Hour Matte Foundation, and this one is in Swan, and I'm going to be applying this again, and I will show you guys what the dupe is. So we're just going to go in. And like I said, the shades are going to be a little off, but this foundation does claim that it is a 24-hour wear foundation. It's full coverage, it's waterproof, sweatproof, transfer proof, and it is a matte finish, which the dupe is pretty much the exact same thing. You guys will see. Can you guess what it is? And this foundation is quite pricey as well. So to find a dupe that's pretty much, you know, more than half the price is amazing. You can apply more if you want to, but I feel like this is enough. And for the dupe side, it's going to be the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Matte Foundation. It's like the same name as well. This one is in True Ivory, and this one is pretty much the same. You know, it says 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation as well. It's full coverage, it's matte, and it's literally more than half the price. Actually, looking at it now, the shade isn't like bad. Oh my god, it actually isn't bad. This is a crazy, crazy good dupe. And if I'm honest, I prefer the Maybelline one. I really do. I've spoken about this on my channel and I love this foundation. I feel like it gives me a beautiful matte finish, but natural matte. Not only that, but I feel like this is more lightweight. It's a little more creamy and easy to blend. This is quite drying, even though it's a great foundation. I just find that the formula of the Maybelline one is a little better. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, I love it. Absolutely love it. Literally can't even tell a difference. Looks like one foundation all over. For concealer, we do have a MAC concealer, and I do want to point out a lot of these dupes are like MAC dupes as well. I found a lot of MAC dupes, so I'm going to go in with the MAC Prep and Prime Highlighting Pen, which you can use as concealer or you can use it as a kind of brightening pen, and this one is in Radiant Rose, which basically looks like this. It has a brush tip applicator, and I am going to go in and just brighten and conceal my under eyes. Now I might grab another shade because the one I want to show you is the E.L.F. Flawless Brightening Concealer, which is a new one that they just came out with as well, and it's pretty much the same thing. Look at that. Pretty much the same thing, and it is a little clicker that you have to click. So with this one, if it's too yellow or too pink, yeah, the tones are off. So what I'm going to do is quickly grab the yellow tone of this MAC one. So I grabbed the yellow one. As you can see, this is the more yellow toned one, and it's in the shade Light Boost, and that's the shade there. So more yellow, and it is a twist up, and I'll just put it over. So ignore the pink one, we don't want the pink one. So I'm just going to blend out the MAC side. I mean, to be fair, you can mix the pink and the yellow to get this tone, because maybe the yellow by itself would be too yellow. But this is basically a concealer and a highlighter in one. It's a more sheerer kind of coverage concealer, so it's not going to, you know, give you super full coverage, but it gives you decent enough, it gives you a decent amount of coverage. So this is the MAC side, and we're going to go in with the E.L.F. side, and I'm also using the E.L.F. Total Face Sponge. And this is pretty much the same thing. They claim that it is a brightening concealer, just like the MAC one. It's creamy, it's sheer, you're supposed to build it up. It's supposed to be a sheer coverage kind of brightening concealer. Now this one, the E.L.F. one, is a little bit more brightening now that I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna go in with a little more of the MAC, see if I can brighten it up more. And if not, we'll just leave it at that, but you guys get the gist. They do have different shades anyway of the MAC. Ones, and of E.L.F. of course. So we are going to go in with the Laura Mercier for the high-end side, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to use for the drugstore side. But you guys know what Laura Mercier translucent powder is, everyone knows it. And then for the drugstore side, we are going into the ColourPop No Filter translucent powder, which is pretty much also just a translucent powder. I feel like with any translucent powder, you pretty much can't tell the difference anyway, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just translucent powder. But I do like how they're both really smooth, and they just sink into the skin nicely. So now for bronzer. This one was a little tricky for me, but I think I found a good dupe. So for the high-end side, we're going to go into the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer in Sunkissed, which looks like this. It's a very warm toned, kind of almost pink bronzer. I can see a lot of like pink undertones in it when I did compare it to other bronzers. I hope it doesn't mess up the look, because it does seem a little too warm. So I am just going to basically contour and bronze up my skin. And as usual, leave me a comment down below. What is a dupe that you have found that you want to share with everyone else and with me, because I'm always looking for new dupes and to make more videos like this, because I think it's really fun to just find things that perform the same but for more than half the price, or for half the price, you know. So this is the Urban Decay one, and I do really like it. It's really nice. It added a little warmth to my skin. And for the dupe side, we are going to go into the NYX Matte Bronzer in Medium, which looks like this. So if I do a little side by side, you guys can see. And I'm using a different brush. I know they look the same, but I'm using a different brush. And oh, this one's a little darker, I feel like. Oh God. I went a little more heavy-handed with this one. So, miss, we're going to have to blend you out. I'm just going to take my foundation brush and go over it. Now that I'm looking at this side needs to be blended too. Blend it in, melt it all in. So now that it looks a little more subtle and, you know, toned down, we're going to go into blusher. Now for blusher, this is a good one. So for blush, I have a MAC blusher, and this one is in Mocha, one of my favorites, which is just this really nice mid-tone kind of purpley pink. And it is a matte. And for the drugstore side, we have the Essence blush. An Essence blush. This one is in Befitting, which looks like this. Very similar, if not pretty much identical. The only thing is with the Essence one is it has a little bit of a sheen, whereas this is completely matte. So I don't know if that's really going to show up on the cheeks, but we will see. So I'm going in with the MAC one first. I will, of course, tone down these blushes as well. I always like to go heavy anyway, and then just melt it into the skin afterwards. Essence one. Apply that to the cheeks. Oh, this is very, like, similar. Pretty much identical. Like I said, it has a little bit of a sheen, but nothing too crazy. I'll just buff this in again. And then I'm going to go into highlighter, which I'm very excited about. The highlighter, it's another MAC dupe. So we have something like that. Can you guys even tell a difference? You know, with both sides, I feel like it just looks pretty much the same. Like it's all the same makeup. For highlighter, we have, this one is broken, so I'm going to be careful showing it. But it's one of my favorite highlighters ever. And this is the MAC Extra Dimension Skinfinish in Whisper of Gilt, which is just a beautiful light pale gold. So I'm actually going to use my fingers for this because it is broken. And I'm going to melt that on the cheekbones. And it just gives you the most beautiful golden glow. Your cheekbones just look very, very, very lifted. Let's do a little up here and half of the Cupid's bow, which is a little difficult. So the dupe side, one that I found is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in Golden Flower Crown. Taking a different clean finger and going into the Wet n Wild. Ooh. So as you can see, my cheeks are golden and glowing. Nothing is glittery. They both have that same sort of just beautiful glow, that beautiful shine that you want without adding or having a glitter. It's not glittery. And I just love it. Yeah, it melts into the skin, so that's great. We're going to move on to eyes now. For the high-end side, we have the Nabla Side by Side. Oh, sorry. Side by Side eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. It has all these beautiful kind of rich warm tones, rusty tones, and then you have some cool tones at the bottom as well. I've been loving this palette. And then the dupe for it is going to be the Makeup Revolution Reloaded highlighter in, did I just say highlighter? Reloaded eyeshadow palette in Velvet Rose. You guys can see right there, it has the warm tones, it has the golds, and then it has that kind of like mauvey, pinky shade as well, and a black. So we're going to go into this palette, and I also have another little thing for the eyes afterwards. So I'm first going into Burnt Sienna and putting that in the crease. This is a really nice shade. I think I'm not going to add too much, so we're going to leave it at that and go into a different brush and go into this one right here from the Makeup Revolution one, which is like the same thing, the same color, and put that in the crease. Okay, I went a little heavy-handed. Notice as well how I'm applying a little bit on the lid. Just diffuse it out. I actually found that the Makeup Revolution one was more pigmented. It went on a lot heavier. Then taking my finger, I'm going into Magic Moment, which looks like that. It's kind of like a mauve pink. And applying that to the lid. So you can see it's like a nice metallic. And I like how it just adds a little bit of a glisten to the eyes. And then for the Makeup Revolution side, we are taking the same shade pretty much and apply that to the lid. This one is not as pigmented. I have to really go into it to get pigment out of it. I think that's fine. Next I'm going into Bonjour, which is kind of like a matte cream peach brown. And I'm applying that above the crease to further add some warmth and soften it all up. And then for Makeup Revolution, we're taking this color, which is identical. And it is the same, like a creamy peach, kind of light brown. And applying that and doing the same thing. So let me try and go in with this other product that I found, another dupe. This is the M.A.C Dazzleshadow Liquid Dazzleshadow. And basically it's a liquid glitter and it is in Beam Time. I'm basically going to apply that to the center of the lid and just blend it in with my finger. I don't want to bring it all the way in. Just keep it in the center. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Now this dupe is pretty much the same, if not even better, because this one is more sparkly, more glittery. It's just, I don't know, I feel like even the shade is better. This is the E.L.F liquid glitter in the shade Flirty Birdy. So I'm going to do a little side by side. This is what they look like, and I'll do a swatch as well before I apply the E.L.F one on my eyes. So you can see there, this is the M.A.C one, that one, and then this is the E.L.F, which the E.L.F is a lot more glittery. And also they both have that kind of, what would you call that, like a copper pink tone. So applying the E.L.F one in the center, I mean, I just feel like that's like, look, that is a lot more sparkly, just a lot more, it adds a lot more oomph, right? And this is so much cheaper. This is £5. It's crazy to me that you can pretty much achieve the same thing with, you know, less money and almost perform better. I cannot believe how sparkly this one is. I feel like my eye just pops a lot more. Whereas this one, it's a nice kind of like almost like a liquid metallic. Whereas this is like a true liquid glitter. But the tones, once you actually look at the eyes, is the same. I love it. So we are going to go into mascara, and I probably will come back to the eyes later. Now, this is the only thing I don't have a dupe for. I'm sorry. I have a dupe for everything else, but I just couldn't find one in my collection, a mascara dupe. So I'm just going to go in really quickly with the, where is it? With the Essence Lash Princess Mascara and apply that to my lashes. And I promised in the next dupes video, I will hopefully find a mascara dupe. And if you guys have any mascara dupes, then leave them down below in the comment section. Taking the kind of rusty burnt sienna shade and just putting it on my lower lash line and smoking it out. Oh my god, I love what that's done. And taking burnt sienna and doing the same thing on the lower lash line. Should I take some black? I'm not sure. So I'm going to take the tiniest amount of black. I'm taking Untitled, this one right here, and just putting the tiniest amount right here on the lower lash line and smoking it in. Oh, I love what that black done. So we're going to do the same thing on the Drugstore side. The Makeup Revolution one also has a black. It almost looks like it has sparkle. I don't know if that would show up. I don't think it would. So I'm taking the black and doing the same. Apply mascara to the bottom lashes, and then we are going to go in to the lips. So for lips, I have a really good dupe. I have a MAC lipstick dupe. So for the high-end side, I'm going to go into the MAC matte lipstick in Kinda Sexy. And then for the dupe side, we're going to go into the Wet n Wild Megalast matte lipstick in Bare It All. Which, can we just appreciate this dupe? So I'm going to do a little swatch as well. So this is crazy. So we have the MAC on the bottom and then Wet n Wild Bare It All on top. So let's go in with the MAC. And Kinda Sexy is a really nice shade. It's almost like a, just a muted, neutral, peachy brown nude. Oh my god, it goes so good with the look. And then the Wet n Wild which is just so creamy as well and matte. There we go. I'm loving this look. It's very peachy, quite springish. I know, not very wintry, but it's still a look that you can rock pretty much any day because it is still a nice neutral but glam look. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of these dupes? Is there something that you have found in your collection? And also, what do you think about, you know, the side-by-side comparison? Does it look quite obvious, or does it look pretty much like all the same makeup, like all the same products on both sides? I love it. I think it came out really nice. I'm impressed. I absolutely love it. Now that I'm looking at it, I've stepped back, I look a little more put together. I'm absolutely loving not only this look, but the dupes that I have found in my collection as well. So I encourage you guys to go through your collection. Maybe you can find some dupes yourself as well, and you wouldn't need to repurchase higher end products because you'll find dupes for, you know, the drugstore version and save your money. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you love seeing drugstore dupes, give this video a thumbs up and let me know so I can definitely do more. And I hope everyone is staying safe. So until next time, I'll speak to you guys all in my next video.